My goal as an artist really would be to make a career out of my art, and I would just love to share my art with as many people as possible. I've had some really positive feedback from people about my art and I just love it. I think that it is bringing joy into people's lives and it's bringing even more joy into mine. My name is Bre Lily and I'm a jewellery designer. I first got into making jewellery when I went to a second-hand store and I found a little pair of Australian galah earrings. So I wore them for a few months and then unfortunately one day I got home and one of my little galah friends had fallen out of my ear, which was a bit devastating for me. So I looked at the other one and I realised that it was a handmade clay earring. So I thought to myself, if somebody else has handmade this out of clay, I can do the same. So from then I got into making earrings. I started working with clay. Clay was quite a difficult medium to make into tiny little birds. And then from clay I ventured into resin and a lot of other materials as well, and yeah, I just kept going from there. The main message behind my art is getting people to notice the beauty around us every single day. I know for years and years I took for granted how beautiful everything was around me, and only until I started stopping and having a look and taking time to notice did I see how beautiful Australia can be. And in my jewellery, people are starting to notice that these flowers are around them every single day and that they might not have been looking at them. So it's also been really lovely to make people's favourite flowers and put them into jewellery, and I think that they have been a really good gift for people because they can give their mum or their grandma or their friend their favourite flowers in earrings. One of my most uplifting moments as an artist was definitely when I was able to make a pair of earrings that really meant a lot to somebody. Unfortunately, their grandma had passed away and their grandma's name was Daphne, and I was able to make her a pair of Daphne earrings that she could give to her mum, which I think was a really beautiful thing that she could do for her, and it felt really, really lovely to do that for her too. My creative process involves first collecting all of my flowers and leaves. So to do this, I love to go on walks around and forage for leaves and flowers on the floor bed of the nature reserve that I live by. So after I found the perfect flowers, I'll take them home and make sure I press them straight away to keep them looking as pretty as they do. So after they are pressed, I then need to work with resin. So resin has definitely taken me a fair few months to master because it's a bit of an intense, fumey product, but once you kind of get used to it and get yourself some nice big gloves and a mask, it's a bit easier from there. But I mix the resin. I've kind of developed my own little way of ensuring that there's no bubbles in the resin by heating up the resin before I use it. I then pour the resin into the molds on one layer and I place my pressed flowers on top, and it sets for 24 to 48 hours. So after it's set, I then give it a good sand, attach some jump rings and some earring findings onto it, and then they're good to go. I do live a very busy life, and unfortunately my day isn't just creating art. I kind of need to fit it in between a lot of the other things that I do in the day as well. I always thought that to be successful I needed to have a fancy job from a degree and spend years and years working my way up. But I think that I would absolutely love to find a way to just be able to use my art every single day as my job, because I just love to do it every day, and I think that would be amazing. And I think for far too long, women haven't been viewed as the gender that gets into business and starts their own business and makes money on their own terms. I know that 100 years ago, women may not have ever dreamed of creating their own business and making their own money. You know, I think that a lot of women have a lot of talent and people tend to just look at it as a hobby rather than a business. So I think that that's been the biggest challenge, especially as a woman, is converting something I've done with arts and craft and trying to actually make it a business platform that people will take seriously and invest in. The next step for my business is going to as many markets in Canberra as I can. So growing up, I would go to the bus depot markets and the hall markets all the time. And something really exciting I've just found out is I have been accepted to go to both as a stall. I'll love to just be able to have more and more platforms to share my art with the world. My biggest dream as an artist is to be able to share Australian nature with people internationally as well. I have had quite a few people buy some of the Australian native earrings to take them over to their family overseas, which I think is so exciting because we have such beautiful plants and leaves and flowers, and I just think it would be great for people internationally to be able to wear those as well.